been an awesome spring-like, or very, very nice early fall week here in Saginaw. And I took advantage of that to go up to the woods quite a few times with Gil to dig for artifacts and relics. And I've shown you some of them. I want to show you some that we dug up yesterday. And Gil's going to show you a collection of marbles that him and I both dug up. 70-some marbles in a relatively small area. So it's, one other thing is, I don't know if you can see, but right over the balcony here is Charlie Cat's resting place. So he's close to us all the time. The wind is picking up, so I will try to talk louder and hope that it's not distracting, because if it is, I'll have to reshoot this. But let's take a look at a few things. Now, yesterday I found this, and it is kind of a mysterious piece. I have no idea what it was to. It's broken off from something, and I asked for some opinions from all of you, and I didn't get very many comments, but one comment that I did get from Matthew is that he believed it could be off from a cursed vessel that was broken, that housed spirits, presumably evil, and that they were gone, but I don't get any bad vibes from it. It's really interesting. It has like bonsai trees carved into it with a little hut in the background. And interestingly, on the back, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the person's fingerprint who made this piece. So it's very interesting, very unusual, and I'd still love to hear from any of you as to what you think this might be, because it's a fascinating piece to me indeed. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, something really cute. A little bunny rabbit, bisque bunny rabbit made in Japan circa 1930s. I found one on eBay. The one on eBay had some coloring to it. This one, the color is all gone from, but it's still a cute piece and a really neat addition to the miniature museum that I have been working on, and it will go in there. So that's a really cool little bunny rabbit. I like that one a lot. I like finding miniatures. Now, Gil is always good at finding things, unusual things, and he found this front of presumably a dollhouse, small plastic dollhouse. This would be late 1940s, early 1950s. There's a piece missing to it, obviously right there, broken out, but there are two little holes there that indicate that there was maybe a window or something there. This will also be used in the miniature museum. There's no marks on it to tell what company made it, but it's a really cool piece, characteristic of that age, the late 40s, early 1950s. Well, and then Gil found a duck, broken mallard duck flying. You know, a lot of people might just pass that by, but I can't, and neither can Gil. And most of the things that we've found this past week, he's given to me to put into my miniatures collection, except the marbles. He likes marbles, and so he's got a, as you'll see shortly, he's got a collection of 72 there, so nobody can say that Gil has lost his marbles. It may seem like it sometimes, but no, he hasn't. Okay, now.
Hopefully a little.
So tell me about them.
I ain't got nothing to say, man. I'm speechless. I am speechless. That's our marble collection so far.
So how many's there?
74.
Yeah.
And they seem to be mostly 40s and 50s.
Yeah, that was
Except for that one green cat eye you found, that
Mercury. He's got to get right in.
That one looks like a newer one. I don't know how that got in there, but we found a newer penny too, so
right.
Maybe it's people still dumped a little later.
And that bunny, you know,
yeah.
I found him online on eBay.
Yeah.
He's from the 1930s.
1930s?
Yep,
in
Japan.
I thought so, yeah.
Yep. But
Mercury, move out.
Come on, Mercury.
Then there's this orange cat eye that looks like the 70s or late 60s, don't it? 70s
yeah,
one?
but you don't think they made those in the 50s too?
I don't know. No, because look at all the ones we found that aren't, you know?
Well, true.
They're all just, they're mainly these, my favorite one, that cinnamon one you found, I call cinnamon.
Oh, that is pretty.
Whoops. Isn't that nice looking?
That is.
Then my next favorite's the one I found yesterday. If I can find it.
Oh, this is cool.
Where's that one I found yesterday that I liked a lot?
Is this it?
No.
That's neat. Murky, you have to get in every video I
Right
shoot.
there, I think this one's it. Yeah, that one. I just love the
that
way
is
that one
cool.
looks. Hey, kitty. You know, it's just the colors, you know.
They don't want these to fall. What are you trying to do, hatch them?
They're babies. They're
What
babies.
the heck are you doing?
I see what you mean by them wanting to get into everything that you're doing, right?
He does. He really
It's
does.
like, what are you guys doing? I want to do some of that too. How am I supposed
Because
to?
you're not taking my marbles.
How am I supposed to get those back into my jar, baby?
Mercury, you are goofy.
I'm afraid to try moving you because
Oh, he won't.
I'm not your boss. You might get testy on me.
Nah, he won't.
So they might have turned that field yesterday after taking the beans out. Or they might have did it today even yet, right?
They might have. There's a cool little, needs a lot of work, but I'm going to try to, just a second, something clattering in there. I know what it is, but there we go. It's going to need a lot of work to make it presentable to put into the little museum, but it's a child's toy, and that will go in there also. So that's kind of cool. Unusual piece, fun piece. I found this plastic yellow turtle shell, seen better days. And about 15 feet from it, I found this really weird looking red piece. And it wasn't until I got home that I realized that they went together. It is the turtle. So, just kind of a cool piece. You know, it's probably was a fun toy for some little girl or boy at some point in time. Now, some of these things I'm not sure if I've shown you through the week, but oh, this was kind of cool. A junior harmotone made in the USA, and I'm going to clean it up, and it still works. It was buried about 4 feet underground, presumably for a lot of decades, and can still be played. So that was a really cool piece, I thought. Nice. I don't play the harmonica. I never was very good at playing anything except my stereo, but yeah, that was neat. It says domestic and foreign patents pending, made in USA, manufactured by Harmonica something corporation. But I'll be able to read that better when I clean it off. We found another. Gil found a pretty beaten up race car, and there's not much I can do with that. It was hard rubber. 2 of the wheels are there, tires I should say. I wish it would have been in better condition, because I tell you what, some boy or girl, well, probably boy with this kind of toy in the era that it was from, probably had a heck of a lot of fun with that piece. And it's just really cool. I like it the way it is. I'm planning on making a scene in one of the 10-gallon aquariums that I have. I use them as display cases. I think I've showed you some of them before. But I'm planning on making one into a slice of life, as you might say, of a dump, using the miniatures that I cannot possibly fix to display nicely. And I have a lot of those. Now here, this was another Gil find. Is a wrecker truck. See a little wrecker hook on the back. That should be easy to fix, you know, easy enough, JB Weld or something like that. I'll take my Dremel tool and a wire brush with it, and I will take all the corrosion and the old paint off from it, and I'm going to try to restore that piece as best I can. There are no tires on it. That's okay. Well, then I take that back. There's one there, and one there, but I may have to replace those when I restore this. I cannot read yet what company made this, just that it says United States. And so much of our things like this were made here in the United States back in the day, and we farmed all that out after a while to China, early to Japan, to Hong Kong, and to China later on. So, you know, it's too bad, because we could be producing these things too. Now here's something really, really cool. I found, and I showed this to you before, this piece of a paratrooper lead toy, and it's made in the USA too. And I found this, it was probably about 3-4 feet underground. Well, about 10-15 feet away from it again, Gil dug up this, and guess what? It's the whole paratrooper. So I will repair him also, and he will go into one of my scenes or rooms, if you will, in the miniature museum. Gil has found a lot of this stuff. Now, I found this little Scotty dog, and of course he'll go in there really well. But you know, it's just a really cute little piece that I was delighted to pull out of the ground, and he was less than 2 inches under the ground. Because the material there seems to go anywhere from just below the surface down. I think the deepest Gil dug was about 5 feet, and he was still finding things. We decided to take a break today, because there's things he's got to do and there's things I've got to do. But another Gil find. This is a copper piece, just an ornate. It could have been a pin. That's the only thing I could imagine it being, really, is a pin. Got 2 nice flowers and a little bow, and that's made out of copper. It was badly folded. I was able to unfold it without breaking it, so that's really a cool piece, I think. Also, let's see, what else haven't I showed you here? I have put together a really nice collection of miniature bottles from that site, and I showed you one that was only about that tall the other day. Well, here's one, and the material in it is blue, and it probably held paint, maybe. Gil suggested maybe tester's paint, like you use for models. By the time I was building models, or he was, they were all twist caps. But it could be tester paint or something similar to that. Nice little bottle, though. And then he also found this charming little perfume bottle, and it's got it's just a really pleasing shape and design. It's a shaker top, so it's hard to get down in there and clean it, but I've got more work to do on it, more cleaning to do on it. Let's see. I don't think I showed you this lady. She would be 1940s. There is no maker's mark on her. She's missing, unfortunately, her 2 arms, but I'll be able to replace those, and she will probably be, well, not probably, she will be in the miniature museum too. She's a very, very elegant looking lady, very 1940 style. And also the head of a little boy doll. Very, very, it's a beautiful piece. The expression on his face and the delicate painting. I'm assuming it was probably made in Japan. It could have been German, but it's just really sweet. Okay, back to it. Here's another race car. Now, the last one I showed you was that hard rubber one. Same era, but this one is made out of plastic, hard plastic, and nice little race car. It'll fix up nice. I just have to find some tires to put on it, and I have some things that'll work for that. This one, again, there's no company indicated on it as to where it was made or who made it. I'm sure it was made in America, but it just doesn't show that for sure. Let's see, there's also this piece, and I don't know if I showed this one to you before or not, but it's a really cool piece, and this one goes back quite a ways, probably into the early teens and 1920s, and it is a hair crimper. It would have been put in stove or laid on stove to heat up, and then it would open up like scissors, and the lady would put her hair in it and close it together and hold it there to put a crimp in her hair. So that was kind of a neat find too. That one won't be able to be restored, but it's quite fascinating just the way it is. I'm not going to show you, but I found some more military buttons because I showed you the military buttons before, and they're just like the ones that we found yesterday. I believe this is a children's toy pot. Maybe went to the same set as the teapot that I showed you just a moment ago. And this one should clean up actually pretty good. It's heavy, which makes me wonder though if it couldn't have been used for melting lead or something. It's got a coarse spout on both sides there, and so it could have been used for melting lead or some material to pour into a mold, but it also could have very well been a child's toy pot. I tell you, Gil has good eyes. We both got good eyes, actually. But he found this little Indian chief, which is so cool. He's holding a hatchet, got the war bonnet on, and it's the same on both sides. Just a really cool piece. I could picture that coming out of do you remember the gum machines where they had prizes in them too? You put a nickel or a dime in, turn the crank, and something would come out. This kind of reminds me of that kind of an item. As does this, which is really, really, really tiny. It's a little parrot on a perch. It's a really cool little miniature. I named him Polly because I had a parrot named Polly a long time ago. It was a double yellow-fronted Amazon, and he would talk up a storm. He was an amazing bird, very loving, very affectionate. Speaking of birds, this is in really bad shape, but it is an owl, just missing the wings on the side. Gil thought it looked like a devil, but it's an owl. I dug that one up. And let's see, I think those are the major finds that we made most recently as yesterday. The weather's supposed to turn tonight. It's going to start getting colder, and it's supposed to be rainy. It looks like rain clouds moving in right now. But they just recently turned over the farm field where we go to find Indian artifacts, which is close to where we found these. And so within the next few days, I'm hoping that we'll get out there and maybe make some finds of Native American Indian artifacts. Gosh, I guess that's about it. Hope you enjoyed looking at these pieces. It was a heck of a lot of fun finding them. It was a heck of a lot of work, but always worth it. Listen, I love you all so very much, and I thank you all for your time, for your being here, for your watching, for your comments. I need to get more comments from y'all though, because I love hearing from yous. And when I don't hear from yous, I worry about ones that are, some of you that are regular commenters, and I just really, really like to hear from you. I'm looking out across the road. My neighbor Catherine, his house is right across from mine, and behind her is Martha, my friend and neighbor and fellow subscriber. You probably remember I asked for prayer for her not too long ago, and she's out feeding the stray cats over there right now, something that a lot of the people in the neighborhood here do. I'm so happy that everybody is taking care of the cats, and we had a major blessing on the cats recently, and I'll tell you about that in another video. This is really awesome that a program like this is out that I'm going to tell you about. So anyways, I've babbled on long enough. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed getting together with you. God bless you. I love you all, and I will see you again, God willing, real soon. Later.